Communication is key in hospitality, and navigating ethical and legal challenges is essential to maintaining trust and avoiding costly pitfalls. In this presentation, I'll explore common issues like equitable communication and compliance with laws in hospitality, and share some strategies to ensure transparency, fairness, and accountability. Ethical and legal communication practices are fundamental to the success of hospitality businesses. Research from the Ethics Resource Center in Washington, D.C. shows that companies committed to doing the right thing, those that make ethics and social responsibility part of their everyday culture, tend to be more consistently successful. Conversely, organizations that engage in unethical behavior risk eroding trust and damaging reputations. For hospitality businesses, ethical and legally compliant communication is not just about following the rules, it's about earning trust, building loyalty, and setting a foundation for sustainable growth. Case Study 1: The Post Oak Hotel. The Post Oak Hotel in Houston is facing two lawsuits alleging racial discrimination by its restaurant staff. In the first case, Willie Powell claims he was unfairly asked to remove his hat at the hotel's restaurant while white guests wearing hats were not. The second lawsuit, filed by Blessing Wosu, alleges she was asked to cover her shoulders at a birthday celebration at its restaurant, while other white women were not subjected to the same request. The hotel denies both allegations, asserting its dress code policies are enforced equally for all guests, and describing the lawsuits as frivolous and opportunistic. The hotel's general manager emphasized their intent to vigorously defend their employees and policies in court. A thorough internal investigation is key during a hospitality crisis. It shows a commitment to fairness and ensures decisions are based on facts, not assumptions. At the same time, employees, as the front line of guest interactions, need proper training to handle sensitive issues with professionalism and also empathy. Controlling the narrative is equally important, focusing on solutions and inclusivity rather than being defensive or dismissive. It helps protect the brand's reputation and reinforces trust with guests and stakeholders. Chick-fil-A plans to re-enter the UK market with five new restaurants set to open starting in early 2025, 4 years after its initial attempt faced backlash from the LGBT community over the founder's support for Christian groups opposed to same-sex marriage. The company, still family run by Truett Cathy's family, has since shifted its charitable giving focus to education and hunger alleviation and appointed its first head of diversity in 2020. In its previous attempt in 2019, a pop up store in Reading faced protests and a lease non renewal following controversy over the company's stance on LGBT issues. Chick fil A's donations and comments from its executives have sparked controversy over the past several years. These donations were seen by critics as aligning with anti LGBTQ agendas, raising ethical concerns about the company's commitment to inclusivity. Moreover, CEO Dan Cathy said that the company supports the biblical definition of the family unit. In an interview with a local Atlanta TV station, Cathy reiterated his position on same sex marriage but said he's not anti gay. However, his remarks were perceived by many as divisive, creating reputational challenges for the brand. In response to the criticism, Chick fil A restructured its charitable giving policies in recent years, focusing on initiatives like education and hunger alleviation instead of contributions to polarizing organizations. This change demonstrates an effort to align corporate giving with broadly supported non controversial causes. Key lessons in crisis communications is that transparency. Chick-fil-A openly acknowledged its charitable giving practices and publicly committed to changes that reflect inclusivity without diminishing its Christian identity. And also action-oriented messaging. The company focused on solutions such as adjusting donations and enhancing diversity efforts. Walt Disney has agreed to pay $43.3 million to settle a lawsuit alleging pay disparities between its male and female employees in California. The lawsuit, initially filed in 2019 by LaRonda Rasmussen, accused Disney of paying male employees with similar job titles significantly more. The suit grew to include around 9,000 current and former female employees. An analysis of Disney's HR data from 2015 to 2022 found that female employees were paid about 2% less than their male counterparts. While Disney stated its commitment to fair pay throughout the case, it expressed satisfaction with the resolution. The primary ethical issue in this case was gender pay disparity. Female employees at Disney alleged they were consistently paid less than their male counterparts for similar roles, which raises concerns about equity, fairness, and systemic discrimination. This disparity not only violated principles of equal pay for equal work, but also risked damaging employee morale, trust, and Disney's reputation as an inclusive employer. Disney publicly stated its commitment to fair pay and expressed satisfaction with the resolution. By publicly addressing the lawsuit and the steps being taken to resolve it, Disney showed a willingness to engage in open dialogue. This transparency helps mitigate reputational damage. However, Disney's initial attempt to stop the class action lawsuit might have been perceived as dismissive or defensive, potentially exacerbating reputational risks. Here are some strategies Disney could have taken to address the issue more effectively from the outset. Open dialogue with employees. Disney could have established open forums or channels for employees to raise concerns about pay equity, creating an internal mechanism to address grievances before they escalate to lawsuits. Encouraging dialogue fosters trust, reducing the likelihood of collective legal action. Case study 4, Chipotle. Chipotle Mexican Grill has agreed to settle a child labor lawsuit with Washington, D.C.'s Attorney General. The lawsuit alleged that the company violated labor laws by allowing minor employees to work beyond legally permitted hours. Chipotle defended its labor policies while emphasizing its commitment to compliance and the value of providing employment opportunities to workers aged 16 and above. However, these repeated violations highlight ongoing challenges for the fast food industry in adhering to child labor laws, with Chipotle and other companies like McDonald's facing scrutiny for labor practices involving underage employees. As part of settlements, Chipotle committed to enhance labor compliance programs, comprehensive training, and also improved scheduling systems to prevent future violations. Chipotle communicated the settlement terms and highlighted corrective actions publicly, but transparency regarding why these violations persisted was lacking. That's why greater openness about the root causes of systemic failures and how they will be addressed could enhance stakeholder trust and shows genuine accountability. Compliance with laws on child labor, equal pay, non discrimination, and ethical marketing is crucial for trust and long term success in the hospitality industry. By prioritizing ethical practices and effective communication, hospitality businesses can recover from challenges and build a strong foundation for success. Thank you for listening.